Ladies and gentlemen, I just witnessed one of the greatest races that I have ever seen in my life, and it completely blew my mind. In the San Silvestre 10K race that took place in Madrid, Spain, we saw some of the most ridiculous running that you will ever see. In this very race, we had many of the best distance athletes in the world, all battling for a very competitive win. But as the race unfolded, it became apparent that two key athletes were far faster than anyone else. And these two runners were Burihu Aregawi from Ethiopia and Jacob Kiplimo from Uganda. Now, between these two individuals, they hold multiple world records at the moment. Currently, Aregawi holds the 5K and 10K road records, and Kiplimo currently holds the 15K world record, and he's also ranked number 2 all-time over the half marathon. So to put it simply, this was a battle of quite possibly two of the greatest road racers in the world at the moment, and the times that they were able to achieve on this course left me speechless. For the opening kilometer, the leaders hit a split time of around 2 minutes and 41 seconds, which, if they continued this pace all the way to the finish, would place them right around 26 minutes and 50 seconds. And even though this is already closing in on world record tempo, they were actually set to run even faster over the following 9 kilometers. At the 3K split, both Kiplimo and Aregawi achieved a time of 8 minutes and 1 second, and they were officially starting to separate from the entire field. And this split time represents a pace of 2 minutes and 40 seconds per kilometer, or 4:18 per mile. This is flying. Just look at their turnover and their overall rhythm. They're just locked in and running like metronomes together. But it's also noteworthy to mention that they are running quite effortless at this point, making running 4:18 miles look way too easy. This 3K split was now projecting these two athletes to finish right around 26:45, and even though their pace had already increased quite dramatically, they were about to go even faster. From the 3K split up to the 5K mark, something insane went down, as both Aregawi and Kiplimo dropped a 2K split of 5 minutes and 6 seconds, meaning that for these previous 2 kilometers, they were running at a pace of 4 minutes and 6 seconds per mile. At the halfway point, both of these athletes hit a time of 13 minutes and 7 seconds, meaning that they were officially on world record tempo as their projected finish was 26:14. And given their wild acceleration over the previous 5 minutes, it did seem quite likely that they were set for a world record. However, it is noteworthy to mention that this race does have a pretty strong net downhill that's slightly too much for world record consideration. So while they might be on pace to run the fastest overall time in road running history over the 10K, this course, unfortunately, is not eligible for official world records. But regardless, these two athletes were running out of their minds fast, and this historic tempo was only set to continue, because from the 5K split up to 8 kilometers, we saw something that I really did not think was possible. For their 8-kilometer splits, both Aregawi and Kiplimo hit a time of 20 minutes and 58 seconds, which might not mean that much to many of you, but by all accounts, this is the single fastest 8-kilometer performance in all of running history. In fact, it's even 1 second faster than the official 8K split of what Joshua Cheptegei did en route to his 10,000-meter world record on the track, when he ran a time of 26 minutes and 11 seconds. So it's honestly amazing seeing these two athletes going this crazy on a course on New Year's Day. And it's also important to mention that from 5K up to 8K, they achieved a 3-kilometer split of 7:51, a time that equates to a pace of 2:37 per kilometer, or 4 minutes and 12 seconds per mile. At this point, running the fastest 10K time ever was certainly in the cards, and while they did continue to run at a remarkable rhythm, their finish at the very end left many people quite underwhelmed. For this 10K race, the finish took place indoors, where the athletes were set to run in this kind of strange 300-meter carpeted area. And over this final 300-meter orange carpeted area, they almost ran into someone on their first turn. They saw a camera operator running right with them with about 200 meters to go. But then, at the very end, it seemed as though Kiplimo and Aragawa just mutually agreed to finish more or less at the same time. Kind of a gentleman's agreement that their efforts were both deserving of a win. However, Aragawa was officially listed as the winner, with Kiplimo finishing 1 second behind.